Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon, let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles, and happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for starting your day with us. I'm Alex Curry here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Now, we don't have a turkey on set, but it looks like we might have a goat.
Why are you wearing that?
No, Skip, don't you do me like this. Hold on, Skip, Skip, baby. I am not.
Why do you have a goat mask on?
Skip, don't do this to me today. Skip, don't do this to me today.
Last night was actually about why LeBron James should be disqualified from any GOAT debate from now on.
Why?
I'm about to say why. I'm about to explain to you why.
Well, when you explain it, make sure you slide me my one case of do. Why you explaining it?
Put your glasses back on. I can't look at you anymore without your glasses. For a while, I couldn't get used to your glasses. Now you look weird without your glasses
I feel weird without them too.
All right.
Skip, man, how you doing?
You did win a case for me last night. Now, I did win 3 from you last Friday night. So for the last 5 days, I'm still up 1 case, and I'm up like 40 overall. And I got 10 riding on my Dallas Cowboys to win the NFC East. Here we go.
We might be even by the end of the night.
We'll see.
We might be even by the end of the night.
Yeah.
Ooh, so much to get to today. But let's start with last night's game, because LeBron wasted no time in his return following a brief 1-game suspension. The Kings' shooting was on fire as he scored 8 of his 39 points in overtime to help the Lakers steal a 124-116 win. Shannon, on a scale of 1 to 10, how impressive was LeBron last night?
Skip, how many is this? How many is that, Skip? That's a 10. Some of the best performances haven't been given at the biggest venues. I know you want that to be a performance. You wanted to be at Madison Square Garden. But some of the best performances wasn't given at the Sydney Opera House. It wasn't given at Madison Square Garden. It wasn't given in one of these big-time arenas. It was a small venue on a weeknight. You know that, Skip? And that's what the man gave you.
Okay.
It wasn't everybody couldn't see it unless you have the NBA ticket. You live in LA, you got Sports Spectrum, you got an opportunity to see it. But you witnessed something, and you knew the moment that man stepped on the court, there's an aura around him that you feel that something is great. You see how those other guys, you look at Malik Monk and how he played. You look at Wayne Ellington and how he played. Look at Dwight Howard, give you like 7, 8, 9 minutes, but goes 4 for 4. Melo is a different player. There's something about this man, Skip. I can't quite put my finger, but I've heard about it. I've read about it in a certain book. The oldest book I've read about people like that have this kind of power, this kind of influence.
Wait, you just suggested he's biblical? Is that what we're talking about?
That's something. It was like
He's a creation by the man upstairs.
King.
He was sent to earth to show us the way, to lead us out of the wilderness? Is that what we're suggesting?
To lead franchises that's been downtrodden, to lead them to the promised land. Yeah, like the Cleveland Cavaliers, like the Lakers that were downtrodden for a decade. He brought them back to prosperity and to prominence. But back to my original schedule. Skip, now, we talked about this yesterday. When that line went from 1.5 to 4.5, I said, Skip, something ain't right. Somebody's not playing tonight. I said, there's probably AD ain't playing. Ain't no way unless somebody comes down and drop $3-4 million. That's the only way the line's going to move like that, unless there's an injury or somebody they know someone's out. They knew Anthony Davis was not going to be playing. They moved that line. Somebody lost a lot of money. Go James said, I'm going to win somebody some money. 39 points. 5 threes, 8 or 9 from the free throw line. Skip, with 2. Now, you told me, now you want the man to drive. Now, he felt the game out in the first quarter, Skip. He was feeling out, get everybody involved, only had 5 points. And then the second quarter, he gets 12 points on 5 of 5 shooting from the floor. So he's like, okay, this is how it's going to be. And then in the third quarter, he's kind of feeling it like everybody, and he feels the game starts to get away. But in that fourth quarter, it clicked.
Did it?
This is what I need to do. Hey, Jim, drop the track, DJ. Skip, he was in his bag.
Was he?
He was in that bag. Now, remember now, it's been a while because he might have left some stuff at home. He's been in and out of the lineup.
Are you
he got
talk
suspended.
Through the whole show or just maybe 2/3 of it?
Jim, can we see some of the things that he was doing? Some of this virtuoso. I know you witnessed it. I started to come over and knock on your door.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Look at this, Skip. That's straight to the basket with the left hand on Sabonis.
They really guarded that.
Okay, what about this here, Skip? Okay. How you guard that?
Yeah.
That's 29 feet. You picking them up from half court? Oh, Skip, what are they doing?
Hey, what is he doing there?
Oh, Skip, look at this one, Skip. Ooh, that's a thing of beauty. That's a thing of beauty.
Was it?
Yeah, you know it. Skip,
was
don't
that
do
the
that.
right basketball play?
Yeah, this is the right basketball play.
Okay.
This is the one.
No, it's not the
31
right
feet.
play. Boy, I can't wait until it's my turn.
So, for me, I
about
love
to run out of steam over there?
No.
10 out of 10?
I love this aggressiveness last night. He tried to let the game filter. Now, the only thing that surprised me, Skip, was how many minutes he played. You and I both thought the minutes would be manageable, but, you know, the game was close. He played basically 20 of 24 minutes in the second half, including overtime. So he's probably about 28 minutes in the second half. Which I'm surprised he played that minute, but it just goes to show you. He says the more I play, the better I get. So forget Skip Bayless and these others talking about you need to manage my minutes. Manage these buckets. And I put 39 big points on you. Let everybody know I'm still the king.
Really? 43 minutes and 28 seconds he played. That's a lot of minutes for the guy who's played the third most in the history of pro basketball.
So where has he been for the last 2.5 weeks, Skip? He was missed 2 weeks, and then you got suspended. You running your trap over there. He should be suspended. He's the commissioner. If you're the commissioner, you're not afraid to stand up to LeBron James. Even though he's in Madison Square Garden, you would suspend him. It's all because of you.
Yep, I'll accept that responsibility, and I appreciate that. So, back to the 10 commandments from the chosen one that you were just explaining to me. On a scale of 10 commandments, I'm going to give him 7 commandments. That's all.
7 out of 10.
Yeah, because we had some real issues going on last night with your man LeBron James that you just swept under your
I want to hear him. I want to hear him.
Carpet over there.
I want to hear him.
Okay. First of all, let's start with who wasn't there. Anthony Davis wasn't there. And my overall big picture takeaway from this game was I thought they actually looked better without AD.
Oh, my goodness.
Because the energy went up, the intensity went up, and the lane was not as clogged as usual with him and his low energy, low motor self sort of drifting around at the free throw line and down to the low post. And all of a sudden, there were lanes for Russ to get free and get loose and create some open shots. Okay, so you did beat me out of a case because I did take the Pacers at home, and in each quarter that they played, it looked like the Pacers were about to take charge. Am I right about that?
They did.
They would pull away by 8 or 10 or 12, and then all of a sudden the Lakers would fight back. So what did we see in the fourth quarter? Would you believe that your Lakers trailed 91-82 with 10:37 left in the game?
Yeah.
So I'm going to give them this. They scratched and they clawed. And they fought back tooth and nail to pull this one out in overtime. Am I right? Okay, so who was the star of the fourth quarter? Was it LeBron James that you gave a 10 out of 10 to, that you called a virtuoso performance for? I don't know. Maybe I got the wrong box score, but my fourth quarter box says that LeBron James was 2 out of 8 from the field in the fourth quarter. Is that right? Is that virtuoso, Mr. Sharpe?
Yeah, he was.
Does that qualify? 2 out of 8? Really? I don't see that as a virtuoso performance.
How many points did he have? Okay,
here's the point. Who were the stars of the fourth quarter? Who were the goatish players in the fourth quarter? Could it be Malik Monk and Wayne Ellington for your Lakers?
I didn't mention that.
So here's what happened. Here's the truth of what happened. If we could see some real video here. Okay, what's the first thing that happened? Malik Monk, boom.
Assist from LeBron.
That's 9:17. That cut it to 6. And then here comes Wayne Ellington. This is with 8:26 left.
Assist from LeBron.
Wayne Ellington says, I got this. That cut it to 3. And then guess what happened at 7:54 left in this game? Wayne Ellington from the corner.
Hockey assist from LeBron.
Tied. The score is tied. Then LeBron missed a jumper, of course. And then here comes Ellington back again with 6:10 left. Boom. And guess what? That cut it back to 2. And then here comes Malik Monk at 4:35 left. Wait a second. The Lakers are ahead. I about fell out of my chair.
That's right.
So those guys combined to make 5 straight threes from 9:17 down to 4:35. And all of a sudden I look up and it's 101-100 visiting team. The Lakers were ahead thanks to Monk and Ellington and Monk and Ellington some more. 3 for him, 2 for Monk. Don't you think that should be combined in your 10 rating for LeBron? Shouldn't that at least drop him down to a 9?
No, because guess what? Who's the leading scorer in the fourth quarter?
Okay. Yeah, okay. So then I'm going to give you your shot, and we'll see it one more time here. With 1:17 left, LeBron makes a front-running three.
No, not he front-running.
Well, it boosted the lead up to 6 points, if we could see this. And then what's he do at the other end? He celebrates too early.
They heavy.
Yeah, he gets the switch on to...
hit that Sam Cassell on it. They heavy, Skip.
Okay, and he's they're so heavy. He's got such big ones. He's taking them all the way down to the other end. Way to go, LeBron. I am impressed. Does that mean the game is over at that point? Wait a second. With 48 seconds left, LeBron tries another shot. This is just a jump shot. It's not a three-point shot. If we could see this is the dagger. This is to go up 6. This is to end the game. LeBron says, I got this. I got this. This is the man who gets a 10 from Shannon Sharpe.
So he missed the shot.
He misses it wide right, almost an air ball. It barely tipped. Okay. If we could see that one more time. This is for the basketball game. This is to end it, to go up 6 with about 46 seconds left.
But considering how they were throwing up thhree and making them, Skip, it probably wouldn't have ended it.
Okay, so what happened with 6.5 seconds left? To your point, that kid Chris Duarte, who has a easy, sweet stroke.
Yeah,
he can shoot it.
I saw him in the Olympics.
Yeah, well, I saw him in the summer league. He can really shoot it. He shot this from the corner. He got fouled.
No,
he got knocked down. He's out of his mind saying, I don't get a call.
No, you don't.
I don't get a call. Are you kidding me?
No, you don't.
Avery Bradley knocks him down. That's as blatant a foul. He hit him. He body fouled him and knocked him out of bounds, knocked him across the line.
No, stop.
He should be and wanting for a 4-point play to win the game. Flopping. He got body fouled. He got basically tackled and knocked down. It should have been on Thanksgiving Day because that's a football play by Avery Bradley.
I've caught fish that flop less than that on the bank. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and I'm not sure that Chris Duarte would have made the free throws because he clanked 2. He had 2 for the game back in the third quarter, and he missed both of them. So I don't know. He might be one of the classic, I can make it from 3, but I can't make it from 15 feet. But the point was, that could have ended the game, maybe should have ended the game, and all of a sudden, we got a last-second shot featuring the guy that you gave a 10 to.
Right.
Could we see the king? Could we see the quote-unquote phony GOAT? Can we see what? He pulls up from 8 feet beyond the three-point line with plenty of time left to drive the basketball on Malcolm Brogdon. He just says, no, I'm going to shoot the highest degree of difficulty shot. It's my pet peeve about LeBron James. It's what disqualifies him from any GOAT conversation. Here he did it again. Well, I've called him on this for every single year of his career dating to his rookie year. For 19 years, he has run from the late game free throw line because he is the unclutchest late game free throw shooter ever.
But he's 3
and he did it again right before your very eyes.
So what about the fourth quarter?
He's got timeout. We got to talk about this one play. This is the play.
One play.
The game is tied. Think about this. All that LeBron had to do was drive the basketball and go get fouled. What do I call him again and again on this show? The greatest driver of the basketball ever. Drive it, LeBron. Have the guts, have the courage to go stand there by yourself, 15 feet from the basket, do your new routine. All you have to do is make 1 out of 2 to win the game at the buzzer. And what does he do? He knows exactly what he's doing. He's got the highest IQ in basketball. He thinks, the last thing I want to do is shoot a free throw here. So I'm going to pull up from 32 feet and I'm going to shoot the deepest 3 possible because then my blind witnesses will say if I miss it, which he missed badly, obviously, that was the hardest shot he could have taken. That was impossible to make that shot. Drive the basketball. Have some guts. I've called him on it again and again and again. And to the greatness of James Worthy, who I know you don't turn the sound up, but on the local telecast, on the local Lakers network in Southern California, as soon as the game ended, James took him to task and said, I had an issue with that shot selection because who wouldn't have an issue with that? I mean, at least shoot one of your little fadeaways from 15 feet. Don't just pull up and jack up some 3. That's to win the basketball game. It's advantage Lakers at that point, and you're defending him for that? You're giving him a 10 for that? That's why he is not the GOAT.
So this is what we're doing. The man plays 43 minutes and 28 seconds, and you bring the game.
This is it.
No, it's not it.
This is the Jordan moment.
Okay, so who won the game? So clearly it wasn't a Jordan moment. So now let's go to overtime. So what happened?
He was very lucky that he wasn't down 1 at that point.
But see, this is what you do.
Can
I ask you a question? Now, this is not what you do with Tom Brady. Tom Brady.
I don't care about Tom Brady.
No.
We're talking about the phony goat here. That is the goat.
This is my argument.
The phony goat.
You make your argument. Allow me on this side of the table to make my argument.
Well, you don't have an argument.
What you do with Tom Brady.
LeBron. Did you like that shot selection?
I like the way he played overall.
Did you like that shot selection? You're not answering my question.
No.
Answer the question. It's simple. Did you like that shot selection?
I trust LeBron James, whether he shoots the ball or pass the ball. You talked about Malik Monk. You talked about Wayne Ellington. Who passed them the ball?
Okay, I give you that.
No, you didn't.
But that's not a 10.
That's not what you said. You didn't mention LeBron James.
Okay.
The man played 43 minutes and had 2 turnovers. Did you mention that?
No. How many assists did he have for the game since he's the assist artist right now? Oh, wait a second. He had 6.
I said he'd have 8.
Wow. Yeah. Interesting.
You see what you do? How you nitpick? Now the man gives you 40. The man gives you 39. He gives you 20. He gives you points in overtime. He gives you points in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
He makes clutch free throws, and still you try to find a way to discredit him.
Okay.
You can't.
I will continue to discredit him. So let's go to 2:51 left in overtime when he makes his first 3 to give them a lead at 117-114.
So what'd you find? What was wrong with this one?
Here's the problem. Sabonis has 5 fouls. What's the basketball play, LeBron? What should you do at that point? Not a step back 3. No. You drive it on Sabonis and try to get him disqualified.
Why try to not to do that?
Because you don't have AD. You're playing center. Your biggest threat right now is that guy versus you on the other end.
Hold up. Tell me what you say that again. I don't think the people at home. What was LeBron playing at that point?
Center. They just decided to go small.
So
they did not have Anthony Davis. Are you going to play Dwight Howard in overtime?
Time out.
Are you going to play DeAndre Jordan in overtime?
I know 2 men in the history of basketball can do what LeBron James did last night. One was Irving Magic Johnson. Yeah. The other was LeBron James. Can play 5 on one end and play point guard on the other. Couldn't Michael Jordan do that?
Magic would have said.
Could Michael Jordan do that? I ask you a question.
Magic can do that.
No. Answer my question. Yeah. I ask you a question. Could Michael Jordan play 5 on one end and point guard on the other? A simple yes or a simple no?
A simple yes is that he could do anything he wanted to do.
Well, he didn't want to play.
He was the greatest ever by far, and it's not even close, and I'm offended you even bring him into this conversation.
I just asked you a question, Skip.
He went 6-0 in the finals with 6 MVPs.
I just asked
Stop it.
I just
Game
asked
over.
The question.
He won 10 scoring titles to your guys' 1 scoring title. Game over. Stop it.
But hold on. But my guy has more points.
The correct basketball play at that point, 2:51 left, is to foul out Sabonis. That's what you do.
That's the correct play.
That would be really smart, I'd say. Way to go, LeBron.
No, you wouldn't. No, you would not have. You're like, well, why'd you do that?
Then we go to 1:53 left in overtime.
What happened
again? Pulls up again. This is to put them up 6. And guess who he gets to switch on to? Just drive it. Just get him out of the game. Just to make sure it's over. Make sure it's over. No, I'm going to do this.
That made sure it's over.
Step back 3.
That made sure it was over.
That put him up 6.
Was it over?
No, it wasn't quite over because then he needed a fall away with 41 points.
Can we show that
left.
One?
Yeah.
Can we show that one?
Show the fall away. Yeah. This ended the game. Way to go. Indiana shot because guess who went 0 for 6 in the overtime for Indiana? The rookie played the whole overtime. I'll give you that. So the 19-year-old played the whole overtime, and guess what he went? 0 for 6 did Chris Duarte and 0 for 5 from 3. You got a break. He was hot-handed for much of the game, and then he went about as cold as you've ever seen a rookie go.
You see what you do? Now, when the Lakers,
actually, Indiana lost the overtime more than L.A. won the overtime.
But here's the thing. When the Lakers go cold in the fourth quarter, all you talk about is they can't shoot. They're old. Yeah, I told you this wasn't going to work. Russell Westbrook. But the minute somebody else, you caught a break. Why don't the Lakers ever catch a break? Why is only the other team gets to catch a break? So I'm going to tell you like this here. The man did everything you asked him to do. He made clutch free throws. Russ made the 2 biggest free throws because they fouled Russ, and Russ made 2 free throws to keep him up 3.
He did. I give him that.
Russ played well, but LeBron James, after what only played like 15 minutes on Sunday, got suspended the following game, came out, gave you that type of performance, and you try to talk about where he didn't drive it. You took 6 seconds.
I don't try to talk about it. I did talk about it.
Okay, you talked about 6 seconds in 43 minutes and 28 seconds.
It's the Jordan-esque game. It's where you do what you have to do to win the game.
He did it.
Yeah,
he
did not do it in regulation.
No, he didn't do it the way you wanted him to do it.
Well, it's the way anybody. It's the correct basketball play is to drive it when you're 6'9", 260 pounds, and you're fresh-legged because you haven't been playing. Drive it and have the guts. You got a whole new routine at the free throw line. Wait a second. He's got the. I told you a month ago. I love his new free throw shooting routine. He's had about 82 of them in his career so far. They change by the week, but this one he's sticking with because it works. It's one big heavy dribble. It's one big deep breath. Then it's a deep knee bend and just let it go. Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, shoot. And it's working. He made 8 out of 9. And I thought, just drive the basketball and have the guts to go use your new routine to make all you got to do is make one. But 1 out of 2 to win the game. And I would say, I would give him a 10 for that.
Because here's the thing. You say in this situation, the right basketball play is to drive the ball. We've seen LeBron James drive the ball so many times. You say that's the right play, LeBron, but you're the GOAT. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant would have never made that play. They would have took it upon themselves. Now he makes a play that doesn't suit you. You find fault with it.
How good a three-point shooter is LeBron James? Help me out. I need you to.
Better than Michael Jordan.
Oh, well, they didn't shoot it in.
Yeah, they did.
No, they did not.
The three-point line came into effect in 1979.
Right here, right now, in today's game, how good a three-point shooter is LeBron James? I need you to lay it on the line.
Better than Michael Jordan.
Okay, no, he doesn't play anymore. He hasn't played. How many years since 2001? It's been a long time since he played. So right here, right now. How good is he? I need to know. I need to know.
I trust LeBron James. Whatever decision he makes, if he shoots it, I'm good with it. If he passes it, I'm good with it.
Well,
because
since you won't answer the question because you can't, because I got you backed into a corner.
No, you don't.
Here's the point. He came into this game shooting 35.5% from three.
Okay.
I'll give you average at best.
Okay.
His career from the three-point line is 34.5%. That is definitely below average, and I'm being kind about that.
I know a couple of guys that got more that you say are better. But we'll talk about that later.
But 34.5 for his career. He is now averaging 8 3-point attempts per game. That is a runaway career high. Last year, he was 6.3 attempts per game. The year before, 6.3. Those were his 2 career highs. So he is jacking up threes at a shocking new rate as a average at best 3-point shooter. Unless he gets hot-handed, and you know and I know what's coming next. Once he falls back in love with the three, the next game, Sacramento at home on what is it, Friday night? Watch what happens. He'll hit you with the 1 for 10 because he's got it in him.
Can I ask you a question? As great as drivers of the ball as Michael and Kobe were, in their later years, did they drive the ball as much in their later years as they did their earlier years? It's a simple yes or no.
I don't care about
it. See, now you don't care. You don't care about anything that you can't win.
Last year, I watched Michael Jordan because I was there. He owned the league. He did whatever he wanted.
Did he drive the basketball?
Sure he did. In 1998, he drove the ball
lethal. So Skip, if you don't mind me asking, why did he develop that fall away, that turnaround jumper?
It's a lane fall away. It's 12 feet. It's 10 feet.
Early in his career, he drove the ball to the rack. He finished at the rim. Kobe, same thing with Kobe. As they got later in their career, Skip, that's a pounding that your body can't continuously take. You know that, I know that. Don't do that, Skip. Don't try to discredit the man after this performance.
8 threes per game.
And?
I gave him a 7, but that's all I can give him because the stars of the game were Monk and Ellington. They're the ones who got him back in.
Of course they were. Of course they were, sure.
Down the stretch, the GOAT had a chance to win the game, quote-unquote GOAT, phony GOAT, and he just didn't have the guts to go shoot the free throws. And if he had, I'd give him a 10.
No, you wouldn't. Skip, it would defeat the purpose. You're not giving him credit. You haven't given him credit for any of the MVPs, none of the finals. You talk about where they beat the 5th seed Heat or they beat this team. My team got unlucky.
2 out of 8 in the fourth quarter is virtuoso.
9 points. 9 points.
2 out of 8.
9 points. 9 points.
Missed the dagger. Missed the dagger and missed the game winner.
Hold on.
Wow.
So what happened in overtime? Did he miss the dagger in overtime? Well, did he miss the game winner in overtime?
Chris Duarte went 0 for 6.
Now it's all about Chris Duarte.
Right,
now that's what it's about.
We are off to a hot start, and we've got a lot more on the King.
No mercy.
Saturday, there are games, and then there's the game. It's the latest chapter in the college football's ultimate rivalry. Number 2 Ohio State faces number 5 Michigan in the Big Noon Saturday game of the week. Coverage begins at 10 Eastern with Big Noon kickoff live from Ann Arbor. And then it's the game Saturday on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Now, the Cowboys are set to play their annual Thanksgiving game later this afternoon and look to bounce back from a rough loss to Kansas City last weekend. Dallas came into the season with high hopes that stemmed from the return of Dak Prescott. Through 10 games, the Cowboys sit atop the NFC East at 7-3, led by an offense that is top 5 in points and total yards. So, Shannon, so far this season, are the Cowboys overrated or are they underrated?
Well, they've been overrated. This team is really not a contender. But for me, Skip, you know why I've had them all year long. Skip, I've said I don't believe they're better than the Cardinals. I don't believe they're better than the Bucks. I don't believe they're better than the Packs. I don't believe they're better than the Rams. So at best, for me, they would have been the 5th seed. If you think about it and go back and look, since everybody jumped on the bandwagon, and a lot of people jumped on the bandwagon, said this team is going to the Super Bowl, they lost 2 or 3. They lost to the Broncos. They beat a bad Falcons team. They lost to Kansas City on the road when Kansas City's offense still didn't play their best day. So for me, I've always thought they were overrated. Well, I thought I had them rated where I thought they were. Everyone else that jumped on their bandwagon, led by you, think they were underrated. Pro Football Focus, I know you don't agree with it, say my team is number 1 in this. They say my team has 2 of the top 5 offensive linemen. My team has the number 1 rated. All that's fine and good and dandy. But when you watch them play against elite teams or teams that's not really elite, I mean, that's okay. That's especially defensively, watch what they do. The biggest thing that I see the problem with the Cowboys, Skip, is that they don't know who they are. They have a $75 million quarterback, but as the stats that you give, when they run more than they throw it, they have a record that's unblemished. And when they pass it more than they run it, they have major flaws. So who are they? The Bucs know exactly what they are. Their short passing game is an extension of their running game. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. The Rams are looking to throw the ball over the field. They'll sprinkle some run in. Kyler Murray's the spirit. So all the teams that I have in front of them, they know exactly who they are. The question the Cowboys ask themselves internally and what they put out there is, who are we? Are we trying to let Zeke run this thing and then we play action off it? Or do we let Dak, because we paid him $75 million and we believe he's one of these upper echelon quarterbacks, let him throw the ball all over the yard? So who are you? What are you? Those are the questions. But for me, you're the 5th best team in the NFC, and you've been overrated all year long.
Okay. You finished?
I'm finished.
Good. It's time for me to start to explain to you once and for all why this team is being dramatically underrated.
Okay, well, explain to me then, please.
It's really because of one game and one game only. But what has been the theme of this National Football League season? Everybody's had at least one stinker. Am I right about that? I can disqualify any team you throw at me. I say, yeah, but what about that game, right? I got one but on my team. But let's look at the whole schedule. Let's go to the top. Let's go to opening Thursday night at Tampa. Was that not a moral victory for my team?
No.
They got goaded at the end of the game because they left 1 minute and 24 seconds left on the clock for the greatest quarterback ever. And he drove him down the field for a walk-off field goal, and my team lost 31-29. But my team outgained Brady's offense 451 yards to 431. That's pretty good. So we were 20 yards better on offense than Tom Brady. You saw nuclear firepower on opening night. Then we go to the Chargers, which is no small task, and win 20-17 in spite of my coach. And I keep telling you, we have to win we have to overcome Mike McCarthy. And then we go home and we crush Philly 41-21. Then we handily beat Carolina 36-28. Then we dominate the Giants 44-20. Then we go to New England and we win on a walk-off throw from Dak to CeeDee in overtime. We win 35-29. And guess what we did to Belichick's defense? We put up 567 yards offense at New England to his 335. So we outgained New England that day by 232 yards. Is that not domination?
Yeah, you got to play
right?
well.
Okay, that is impressive to me. That's one where you sit back and say, timeout. you better rate this team. You better stop underrating and start to make it more and more, because this team is showing you its firepower when it goes up to Minnesota and there's no Dak, and they hold Kirk Cousins and that receiving core to 1 of 13 on third down. That was the night I said, wait a second, I've got a defense to go with my offense, right? And Cooper Rush manages to win the game without Dak, because actually the defense won the game 20-16. Then we come home and we flex all of our nuclear firepower against Atlanta. I'm sorry, I skipped over the one game. This is the bad game.
Yeah, you did skip over. You did skip over.
Because I had it circled, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had one bad day at the office. We had one overconfident game because we're just learning how to do this. This is still a young team as far as learning how to be dominating. And what happened? My quarterback stunk. He played his worst game of his Cowboy career, did Dak Prescott. And we fall behind 30-0 early in the fourth quarter. But as I said, everybody's had a stinker. And we just said, okay, we forget about it. We come right back out against Atlanta, and what did we do? 43-3 is what we did. Yeah. That was a flex. Yeah. That was to show Shannon Sharpe, watch what we're capable of doing. And in that game, on 3rd and 4th down, we hold Matt Ryan to 1 of 13. I want you to think about that. 1 of 13. So Kirk Cousins 1 of 13 on 3rd down alone. Matt Ryan 3rd and 4th down 1 of 13. And I'm starting to say, wait a second, my defense has figured it out. And my defense then goes up to Kansas City and holds Patrick Mahomes at Arrowhead to a grand total of 19 points and kept us in the game all game long, because we don't have just one Defensive Player of the Year candidate. We have 2. We have Micah Parsons, who is now top 10 in sacks, and we obviously have had Trevon Diggs all year long, who is leading the league in interceptions with 8. Okay, so we have 2 Defensive Player of the Year candidates on a defense, on a unit that you say is completely overrated. Am I right?
I didn't say they're overrated. I say they're overvalued. I say they're average.
Okay, they're average, except lately they're not playing average. They're playing top 10-ish kind of defense, because all of a sudden in points allowed, Dallas is 8th in the league.
That's very good.
Who knew? Who knew? Well, obviously, in points scored, we're 3rd, and we haven't been very good here of late, but we're still 3rd. We're 1st in yards gained in the National Football League. That's pretty good. And if we look at our favorite website, Pro Football Focus, they say that the 3rd best team in the league is Dallas, which is way better than what you have them.
I got them.
And they also say that the best offense in pro football belongs to the Dallas Cowboys.
But let me ask you a question, Skip. What good is that? What good is having money if you can't get to it when you need it?
Okay.
What good is having the #1 offense, one of the best teams, is that when you need more than 9 points, you can't score it.
Okay.
When you need more than 16 points, you can't get it unless it's in mop-up duty.
Okay, so much of the year we were 2nd in rushing, right?
Yeah.
And what stats do I keep throwing at you? When Dak Prescott has been our quarterback, they are 29-0 when they run it more than they throw it.
Okay.
What did they do when they went up to Kansas City? I don't know what got into Kellen Moore, but he said, you know what? I'm going to show you that my quarterback can out Mahomes at Kansas City. I'm going to put the game in Dak's hands. And he throws 43 times, and they run it 16 times, and he scored 3 field goals in 12 possessions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so actually that game boiled down to 3 bad throws by my quarterback. I can just distill the whole game down to 3 bad throws. If we could see what happened on the first play of the game, he misses Michael Gallup. This is a game changer. This changes the momentum. It changes the tone. It sends an early message. We are here. And here's the second one. This is at the end of the half. He just flat out underthrows CeeDee. If he throws him a jump ball, he just might go up and get it. But instead, not only does he not catch it, but it's injury added to insult because he whiplashes and gets a concussion. And we're going to debate later whether he's going to play. And here we go again to Cedric Wilson. He's got him open, and he sort of wrong foots it, and he underthrows it by, what, 7 yards? Cedric Wilson is gone. And at that point, if you pull this off, if you pull off a touchdown, it's all of a sudden 19-16 with 9:43 left in the game. Well, do we have a football game?
Yeah. You would have, but that's Skip.
Okay, so he missed 3 throws that he usually doesn't miss. He had one bad day at the office at Kansas City because they tried to say, you be the $75 million man.
No, but hold on. You said his bad day was at Denver. So was it?
Well,
Did he play? So which day was worse, the Denver or the Kansas City game?
I told you, both of them shook me up. but the defense continued to rise and shine through this, except for the one bad day at the office for the defense, gave up 190 yards rushing to Denver. But show me a team. I want you to pick one team that you love that hasn't had one stinker.
No,
you can't.
No, I can't. But here's the thing, Skip. Of all the teams, show me the team that's unsure about their identity.
Okay.
You are the only one.
Okay.
Because you don't know, because you got a $75 million quarterback, are we going to allow him to throw it 40-plus times a game? Or are we going to lean on this running game with Zeke and Tony Pollard?
Okay. So far this year, Dak Prescott is 0-3. 0-3 when they don't run for 100 yards. Aha! Okay, so there's the magic formula. So we're back to the Raiders today. You better run it down their throats.
But Skip, you said you want to put the ball in the bellies of running back when you're playing your quarterback $75 million.
Well,
you can't understand the juxtaposition.
I told you that was too much, and you said that's just what the market bears. Right?
What would you want to pay him, $20 million?
I don't know. I just said it was too much. Jerry said it was too much when they had their press conference.
Nah. Jerry Jones been going, Jerry and Stephen been going out there talking about Super Bowl. And talking about this team got as much talent as those Super Bowl team.
Is it possible that we're turning into a defensive team more than an offensive team? Because I'm going to remind everybody, guess who is second best in the National Football League in allowing third down conversions? Second best on defense, allowing third down conversions, is the Dallas Cowboys, and they're barely behind your old team, the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens allow 31%. We allow 32% conversions. That's a stat you can take to your Super Bowl
absolutely,
bank.
yes.
Okay? And on offense, we are seventh best in the league at converting third down.
Right.
So I've got second best stopping third down, seventh best converting. Those are playoff kind of numbers. Those are go deep in the playoffs.
But Skip, you're the seventh best team in converting third downs, but when you needed more than 9 points, you couldn't get it. When the Denver Broncos was selling for field goals and you needed to get a possession, you needed to get a drive, instead of going 3 and out, you get 7, 8, 9 plays, you couldn't get it.
Okay, I hear you, but we've now played 10 games and you are focusing on 2 out of the 10.
But here's the thing though, Skip, you built those stats up over bad teams when you're going 10 or 13 against the Falcons. You're going 10, you're going 9 of...
The Falcons who had just won at New Orleans. Go ahead.
And the New Orleans Saints that just got blown out by Philly. And the New Orleans Saints that lost 3 in a row.
Just beat the Bucks. Go ahead.
Lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
See, hold on. Now, you just can't say everybody's had a bad game, so the Bucks didn't have a bad game, so which is it?
I said they've had a bad game.
Okay, then.
Yes.
So the Bucks maybe have both. Look, the way I look at the Cowboys, Skip, yes, they played some teams, but they got 4 turnovers against the Bucks, and they still lost.
Okay.
That happened.
And by the way, who's tied for 4th in the National Football League in takeaways? Dallas.
And who's...
Defense.
Y'all
Underrated defense. Shannon Sharpe says they got exposed. No?
Hold on. You built up that cachet over a long period of time. What you've been doing over the last couple of weeks against Denver and against Kansas City, what have you been doing offensively? Turning it over. Turning it over.
Well, the quarterback has.
Hold on. Is he on offense?
Yep.
Okay, then.
I agree. So you had another bad day at the offense on strategy, offensive philosophy at Kansas City, and you got to right the wrong today against the Raiders. It starts. Should they win this game? They're 7.5-point favorite. Yeah. Sure, they should. So if you get back on the winning train and you go to New Orleans and you take care of business, I don't know if they'll have Kamara back and Mark Ingram back for that game. They're not going to play tonight against Buffalo.
Right.
But if they do, it's going to be a battle. It'll be much harder to win against Kamara, right?
I need you to pick a side. Because one minute you talk about Dak, my guy's a warrior, and the next minute you talking about the man ain't worth the money he got.
Well, I only say what I see, and I've seen him have 2 bad games by his standards, and certainly by $75 million standards. But I've also seen a whole bunch of really good games, such as the one at New England, such as the one at Chargers, such as the one at GOAT. Those are big-time games, and he is highly capable, and still his body of work is very impressive. And if you just call more running plays than passing plays, we good.
The Rams. The Chargers was a very impressive win because I still think the Chargers are a very good football team, and the job they were able to do on Justin Herbert as far as keeping him out of the end zone, because they did get into the red zone. Your defense bowled their back.
They scored 17 points at home against my defense.
He threw a pick in the end zone.
Yep.
But for me, Skip, you beat a rookie and you lost. So you got one impressive win on your resume, and it's the Chargers. One.
Wait a second. New England, a lot of people think is the best team in football.
You beat a rookie.
Now. Okay.
You being a rookie who you have little to no respect to.
Pro Football Focus right now grades New England the best team in football. Really?
You got little to no respect for the quarterback.
Wow. Well, you have lots of respect for the quarterback.
I sure do.
Okay, well, how can you not give me an impressive win?
Rookie. He a rookie still, though.
Well, is he or is he not? He's not playing like a rookie.
You beat Teddy Bridgewater, got you.
Okay.
Teddy Bridgewater owned you. Have y'all ever beat Teddy Bridgewater?
I don't think so, because we lost to him 12-10 at New Orleans.
Okay.
And
he did a number on y'all, and then he did a Teddy turn down.
Yeah.
Had y'all 30-0. Mm-hmm. 30.
Yeah, everybody has one of those.
No. Ain't nobody had no 30-0. Mm-hmm. What team lost that was down 30-0?
You remember what happened to your Green Bay Packers on opening day at Jacksonville against New Orleans?
It went down 30-0.
Yeah.
That first game of the season.
I think it was worse than 30-0.
Hey, that was first game of the season. Everybody had the first game of the season.
Oh, okay.
Y'all was no, hold on.
Does it count?
This was when you guys were going to the Super Bowl. You remember everybody, all the analysts was talking about the Cowboys and what they could do? And stunk it up.
All I really care about is that you bet me 10 cases of Diet Mountain Dew before the year started that the Dallas Cowboys would not win the NFC.
Yeah, East. You haven't won it. Have you won it?
Right now, they're 2.5 games up on Philly, right?
Yep.
A little more up on Washington and way up on the Giants.
Ain't nobody talking about the Giants.
Okay.
But guess what you got to do? You got to play Washington, and you got to play you got to play the Eagles again.
Got to play at Washington.
We'll get back to the Cowboys
Arizona got something for you too.
A little later in the show, but right now, let's talk about the King. Because LeBron returned from his one-game suspension last night and put on a show, dropping 39 points in his first action since Sunday against Detroit. Now, afterwards, the King addressed the fallout from this past weekend's incident. Take a listen.
And when I swung down on his arm, he got off balance and the left side of my hand, grazed his face. And I knew right away. So I knew right away I had caught some part of his head. So I went over to apologize to him. And obviously, you guys see what happened after that. But definitely accidental. I hate to see that, what escalated after that. I didn't think it warranted... I thought it warranted an ejection because of what happened after that. Having me probably still in the game and the excitement from the fans, what could possibly happen after that, obviously. But a suspension, I didn't think it was warranted, but the league made that call, and we were there.
Shannon, do you agree with LeBron?
I do, and I've said it. I believe it was unintentional. I believe it was unintentional, and the league overreacted. I don't, and I've said this, I don't believe if Stewart runs around with like a chicken with his head cut off for 2.5, 3 minutes, I believe neither one of the guys gets suspended. But because of the action that LeBron did and the reaction that Isaiah Stewart had, I think the league felt they had no choice but to take this course of action, Skip. You can see LeBron James, and he said it. We're jockeying for position. He's trying to get position. I'm trying to get position. I try to knock his hand, down. He gets off balance. I swing, try to knock it. And he's explaining it. The one thing that we know about LeBron can recall plays. We've seen him recall. Well, LeBron, what happened to this play? Well, we came down. We got a great shot from the corner. The guy missed it. They get the ball. They come down. They get a fast break. They get a layup. So he has a great recall of what transpires within the course of the game. And he's giving it to you play by play. We're at the free throw line. We're jockeying for position. He gets off balance. I'm trying to lock his hands down. My hand catches him in the soft part of his eye, part of his lip. And, as immediately, I knew I had caught him somewhere. Didn't know exactly where I caught him, but I knew I caught him somewhere. I'm going over to try to apologize. Bro, that wasn't intentional. My bad. I'm wrong. I should, I'm sorry. But he wasn't trying to hear that at the time. And I get it. Frustration. Man, it's hard somebody slap you in your face and talk about it was an accident, Skip. So I get Isaiah Stewart's initial reaction, like, damn, bro. Well, that bad ball, that ain't no real ball. So I get his initial reaction. But after they're separated, Skip, for him to carry on like that, that's where he and I part ways at. His initial reaction, being upset, good. But it was after that I believe that's where the league had to step in. And I thought the league would probably give him more games than what they gave him, considering they want you to leave because they don't want these things to escalate. So for me, I totally buy 100% of what LeBron's saying because that's what I've said from the get-go.
Want to know the truth about what LeBron said last night, both on camera and off camera to ESPN? He is so defiantly delusional about what happened that he he's close to deserving a second suspension for how he responded to the first one. So some off-camera remarks were, I gave them, the guy from whoever called from the league, I gave them my story, and then they did what the F they wanted to do, what they got to do is how he said it. And then he said, it's some bull, you know what, but whatever. He said, I was devastated. Madison Square Garden is my favorite place in the world to play, so I was looking forward to it, but it is what it is. So he's just saying they were wrong, because they didn't listen to his explanation. Well, if you listen carefully to what he said last night, it's almost hilariously delusional, because here it is again. He said, I basically tried to swim down on him on his arm, and when I swung down on his arm, he got off balance, and the left side of my hand grazed his face. Sorry, what I see on the video, what I told you from day one was LeBron cocked back his arm, he balled his fist, closed his fist, and he fired on him. And obviously, the elbow first catches the soft part of the skin above Isaiah Stewart's eye, and then he continues through with a forearm shiver to the face and catches him with the side of his fist across the mouth, also cutting his mouth. It was a shot. It didn't take the refs long to say, I'm sorry, you are gone.
Right.
As soon as they looked at it, and it didn't take the refs, it didn't take the league office long either to suspend him, because they could have slow played this just to let him play at Madison Square Garden. They could have said, we need to study the tape. We need to get a little more.
Skip, they're not gonna do that.
Get a little more research done on this. We need to ask some more people about this. We'll have a verdict on LeBron by Wednesday. They could have done that and gotten away with it and suspended him for the Indiana game. But no, it was Madison Square Garden. And I said, hooray for the NBA. So then he goes on to say, I hate to see that, what Isaiah then did, what escalated after that. This is from LeBron. He says, I thought it warranted an ejection because of what happened after that. So he is now blaming his ejection on Isaiah Stewart.
No, that's not what he said.
Yes, he is.
No,
he's saying if Isaiah hadn't reacted the way he reacted, then he's not going to be ejected.
But here's the thing. He said, I should have gotten ejected, seeing how he reacted, knowing that if I stay in the game, it's going to continue. Then there's a possibility fans get involved. Okay, that's what he said.
Okay, but that's blaming it on Isaiah's reaction, correct?
But
if Isaiah hadn't reacted, would you say like a chicken with his head cut off?
Yes.
If he hadn't, then LeBron is saying, yeah, everybody's cool.
Because here's the thing, though, Skip. If he hadn't reacted like that, do you think he would have blown up at a later date and time in that ball game? I do not. But because he had escalated it so far by doing his antics, LeBron can't stay. Because it's just like, Skip, it's like a hockey fight. At some point in time, you just got to go ahead and throw the guys out, Skip. Because they're going to keep it going. They're not going to stop.
Okay.
So this would have been a situation like that.
But the reason hockey allows regular season fighting is to de-escalate, because they just let the two guys go at it till they swing themselves out and then they separate. And much of the time, it goes on peacefully after that because they got it out of the system.
But sometimes, Skip, they just keep it going till the officials just finally say, hey, y'all go ahead and
you can't just let them fight in the NBA because you're just kind of bare skin against bare skin. It's like bare knuckles.
And nobody wants Skip. They used to fight. Yep. You was covering the league in the 70s and 80s when they would fight, and even in the early 90s. But the fans, look, this is not MMA, this is not boxing. We come to see elite athletes put the ball in the basket at an extremely high level. We don't come to see them fight. You go to hockey, Skip, you want to see some fight. Skip, if I go to NASCAR, I'm expecting to see a wreck. If I see a clean race, I'm disappointed. I want somebody to push somebody into the wall. I won't see some tires coming off.
Okay. But you don't want to see it in an NBA game.
No.
Okay, well, obviously, LeBron deserved to be ejected just because he just smashed him in the face. And so the ref said, hostile act. So LeBron can't then try to spin control it by saying, the only reason I should have been ejected is because he went berserk, right?
Because, Skip, I don't think if Isaiah, basically LeBron is saying his reaction said, let everybody knows that this isn't going away. Even if Isaiah Stewart leaves the game, there's a possibility that one of his teammates takes a course of action.
But LeBron's point of view is it should have gone away because he should have immediately accepted the apology. And even you said you had no problem with him going a little nuts about it because He took a shot in the face, and he dropped to a knee, and then he turned and faced him for a second, and he was shell-shocked because the face of the league had just cold-cocked him, had just cheap-shot him.
The man, Skip, it was an accident. But let me ask you a question. As you look at that video, you don't think Isaiah Stewart got off balance?
Off balance? Well, LeBron wasn't off balance, and he just fires on him.
Because he's trying to knock his hand down. If I get off balance, guess what that do? Skip, is kind of like we go helmet to helmet. If you catch the ball, you see me coming, what is your instincts? You duck because you're trying to protect yourself. So what was a blow that was going to hit you in your chest? Now I hit you in the head, it throws the flag. LeBron is trying to swipe down on the man's arm. He gets off balance. He brings his face into where I'm trying to swipe your arm down.
I do not believe he was trying to swipe down on his arm. He turned and looked at him face to face,
and he
fired right on him. Well, apparently somebody in the league office is aligned with me on this because it didn't take them very long to decide. They called LeBron, I want your side of the story, and within an hour they said, you are gone for a game, right?
Okay.
And what's the last thing the league wanted to do? Suspend LeBron James before his one shot at Madison Square Garden?
But here's the thing, Skip, they were all, I don't believe, but they were almost forced. Skip, we saw the game. Look at last night. Sabonis goes over the top and gets a rebound. He accidentally trying to hit LeBron in the head. What they call? Flagrant one. They called a flagrant one on Dwight Howard.
Did you think that was a flagrant one on Sabonis? Do we have that, by the way?
No, I didn't think it was a flagrant one on Dwight Howard either.
Okay. I'll buy that. But when Sabonis just reaching over the top, I couldn't really see this. I don't really know what's flagrant. And LeBron goes down like he got shot in the face. He's going to be okay, except did you see what LeBron wore to his postgame? He's got a little butterfly Band-Aid on his...
Yeah, somebody caught him, Sabonis caught him in the eye.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
I
right here. You, Skip, you see the thing right there. You saw the man elbow. Don't do that, Skip.
Ow. Well, you just said it wasn't a flagrant.
No, but Skip, Skip, they getting away. I mean, Russ got hit in the mouth against the Knicks the other night, bust his mouth wide open, and ain't nobody do anything. Dwight Howard tries to flick the ball from Sabonis, and he catches him in the nose, and they Skip, everything is
bloodied his nose. And Sabonis didn't seem to bother him at all.
He did.
Said,
no, because he's laying on the floor talking about.
No, he just got right up and listened.
No, he didn't get right. No, he didn't get right up. He was sitting on the floor talking about reviewing.
No, his daddy taught him you just play through.
No, his daddy taught him that.
Yeah, he did.
But Skip, there's no
but
history.
LeBron comes, he got a butterfly Band-Aid. Not stitches, a little butterfly like I get hit in the eye too, right?
You just said, next to Shaq, nobody is harder to officiate than LeBron. Nobody's taking more pounds than LeBron.
I did say that. Yep.
But I mean, LeBron, so all the time, all those hard fouls, all the time guys have grabbed him around the neck and did all those things. He's never turned around and fired on somebody. But on a Sunday afternoon, a 20-year-old.
Down 12 to a 20-year-old.
So LeBron James has never been down before in his life.
Well, obviously, but to a 4-13 Detroit,
Skip,
on an NFL Sunday, playing in the shadows in Detroit.
You know what?
He just lost it for a split second.
Think about what you just said.
Yep.
LeBron James is thinking about, man, it's Sunday afternoon. There's football on. I should be watching football.
Yep.
This is a 4-13 team, and they're beating us.
They're making me play up against the NFL on a Sunday?
Everybody has to do that, Skip.
They're down 12 to Detroit.
Okay. They were down 12.
Quarter.
Hold on. What happens?
Okay, and what about the story on Monday? LeBron tried to find Isaiah's number so he could get him on the phone and apologize to him. Baloney he did, because did you hear his response last night about, have you talked to Isaiah?
Right.
No. It's a PR ploy. No. I told you. It was a ploy to try to get him not suspended.
First of all, if somebody gives my number out without checking with me, we gonna have a problem. Because if I find out who gave my number out, I'm gonna block you, and then I'm gonna step to you and ask you why the F you give out my number. So that's first and foremost. I don't give a who it is. President Biden, President Obama, don't you give my number out. I give my number out.
So are you speaking for Isaiah Stewart here?
Yes!
At age 20?
At 20?
If the king wants to get a hold of him?
The king of what?
Thank you. I've been asking you that for years.
No, I don't, Skip. You looking at it like, oh, somebody of prominence asking for your number. No, you don't give out people. No, I refuse to get somebody. Hey, man, you got such and such a number? I said, nah. I said, but I tell you what I do. I'll reach out to them and ask if they mind you having it. But I'm just not willy-nilly giving out somebody's number.
On Monday, you used it as a positive point in your favor that LeBron tried to reach out and talk to him.
He tried to. I believe that he tried to. But that doesn't mean, hey, They should have said, I don't know, LeBron. He's pretty upset right now, so I don't know. I don't feel comfortable giving you his number. But I will tell him that you reached out wanting to make contact, and then we'll link it up like that. That's how you do it, Skip. You just don't give out somebody's number? Who does that? Well, I guess if you jilted, I mean, I see exes do that all the time. I see it played out on social media. They give out somebody's number. Kanye West tweeted out somebody's Drake's address and all kind of foolishness. But you don't do that, man. Where they do that at?
I don't know.
Man, I wish somebody would.
So I do not believe he reached out.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Well,
why is it so?
It's a PR ploy to try to avoid suspension. I don't blame him. It was a nice try.
Let me ask you a question. What does the man gain, Skip? Why LeBron James got to lie?
Lie about that?
By trying to reach out to the man and say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
So he can play at Madison Square Garden? That's what you gain?
Hold on. That's your loss. How many times have LeBron James played at Madison Square Garden? That's their loss. They don't get a chance to see him this year. And he's not going to have very many more opportunities. That's on y'all.
Well, that's why I said they cut off their nose to spite their face, because they said, we have to stand by our credibility here. He has to be gone for a game.
Well, they just getting out of hand. So I'm just telling y'all guys, don't go over the back, because if you accidentally hit somebody in the head, that's going to be a flagrant one. They're going to shoot the free throw, and they're going to get the ball back.
No mercy. This Thanksgiving, you have a free chance to win $100,000 of Terry Bradshaw's money playing the Fox Bet Super 6. Congratulations to Nate from Nebraska, who won Terry's $100,000 last Sunday. You could be next. Scan the QR code now and enter your picks in the Thanksgiving Challenge for your chance at the jackpot. Don't miss out. It is free to play. Download the Super 6 app now. With over 2 minutes left in overtime, LeBron pointed out two courtside fans to referees and arena officials, which resulted in them being ejected from the game. After the Lakers win, LeBron talked about it with the media. Take a listen.
It's the difference between cheering on your home faithful, both one of the opponents, things of that nature, or not wanting your opponents to be successful. And then there's moments where he goes outside the line without seeing gestures and words that shouldn't be tolerated or gained from nobody. I would never say it to a fan, and a fan should never say it to a player.
Shannon, what do you make of this?
For LeBron James to be as emphatic as he was, to go through the lengths in which he went to want these fans removed, lets you know that they crossed the line with him. Now, people want to know, well, what do you think they said? I know what they said, but that's for LeBron to say, and that's for the fan. Go ask the fans. Media, I want y'all to go find these fans and ask them, what did you say to LeBron James that he became so enraged and so emphatic that he demanded that you be removed from the stadium? And then you ask yourself, was he right to have these people removed from the game?
How do you know what they said?
Trust me, I know.
But I mean, you're just sort of guessing?
I ain't guessing. When I say I know, I know.
Well, how?
How you think I know?
Well, did LeBron tell you?
Like I said, I know. That's for him to decide. That's for, if he wants to tell, I'll let him tell it.
Okay.
But go ask the fans. See, this is what should happen. When a fan is removed from the game for a gesture or words, the media should go to that fan and ask, what did you say?
I'll buy that.
I want to know what she say. I want her to say it. And then I want people to make come to their own conclusion.
Okay.
Is that something that warranted being ejected for?
She said it, not he said it.
Both of them were saying it.
Okay, both were saying, did it cross racial lines?
No, it wasn't racial, but it went outside of the scope, and there were some other things, like you said, the obscene gesture. Russ came in at the end because, like I said, the fans somehow, Skip, and these, look, you know what these seats cost, Skip, sitting courtside. So this is well-to-do. They know right from wrong.
Yep.
But somehow, and it's been like this for a very long time, people think because they pay money, and we see this in restaurants, well, you think you could talk to your server any kind of way. You think because you pay an enormous amount of money and the athlete are there to entertain you, you can say, you can do whatever. And it's well within my right because I paid $5,000 or I paid an exorbitant amount of money for this ticket. You cannot, you should not. And I agree with LeBron. Skip, boo me. It's a badge of honor if I'm in a visiting arena and I get booed. But you cannot say certain things like what they be saying and think that it's okay. And what has transpired is that America has become more comfortable with saying things to people and then using the term snowflake. Oh, you soft. Nah, bruh. Give me my respect. That's all I ask. You don't have to respect me. And I'm a firm believer, Skip, and I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm a firm believer. You don't have to respect me, but I'd be damned if I let you disrespect me. Now, I'm glad LeBron handled it that way. Get them out of the arena. They crossed the line. Now, I want Indiana media to find these people and ask them, what did you say that got LeBron James so upset?
Yeah, I've never seen him quite that upset. I've seen him get angry with hecklers at courtside, and it usually benefits him because he just goes off on the scoreboard on them.
And that might have benefited because that might have been part of the 39-point performance that you saw last night.
Yeah, it was a little deep into overtime.
Yeah.
He was already there. He was already in charge of the game.
But there were things that, had been said that, you let that you let that pass give you, okay, but you know how it is, Skip. You get a few drinks, and then you start saying things that you're comfortable with because, drunk, what is it? A drunk mouth speaks sober thoughts. So I'm going to leave it at that.
Well, I've told you before, the best I ever have seen LeBron is when he goes angry. And he got angry at Toronto. You thought it was Chris Bosh's girlfriend.
I think it was Chris Bosh's girlfriend.
There was some front row heckler in Atlanta one time where he just went ballistic on the scoreboard on them.
Yes.
The more he got heckled, the more he scored.
Right.
To where I just loved his body language because he got that, like last night, he started doing his snarl, that sideways snarl. And when he gets that mean mug going, you can be in some big trouble.
Right.
And then we saw it at Cleveland.
That was last year, Skip.
Last year.
That was an executive. Because he missed a shot and the guy laughed.
I guess he laughed or said something. And it was when there were no fans.
Right.
And so you could hear it because it was echoing in the arena.
Yes.
And he said, oh, okay, well, I got something for you, and I'm going to shut you up in the fourth quarter because I think it was at the end of the third.
It was in the third quarter. He missed the last second shot in the third quarter, Skip.
And then that was it. He just went crazy on the poor Cleveland Cavaliers. So we've seen that again and again. And then my favorite story is what David Blatt did to him last play of that turnaround game of that Chicago series that year when he called the last play for Kyrie and had LeBron inbounding the ball. Not over my dead body, said LeBron James. And he said, Kyrie will inbound to me. And you know the rest of the story. He didn't get all the way back to the three-point line, but it was a deep two from the corner to win the game. I love LeBron when he plays angry. And to your point, I hadn't thought about this. Maybe they were on him to the point that they were just lighting his fire the whole, fourth quarter and overtime, for all I know. Okay? So I was surprised. I did appreciate the fact that instead of just getting into it with them himself, he just immediately went and he got Rodney Mott, the referee. And he just took him right over and said, those two have to be gone. And the ushers are like, really?
Well, Skip, you remember last year in Atlanta, he had two people removed from the game that was going on. And he said it was just between me and the guy.
Oh, but they had something personal, like a business relationship.
So they were going back and forth. And then,
that was when there were no fans.
There were no fans. And then the girlfriend who jumped in and she intervened and kept it going, like, you don't talk to my you-know-what like this here. And so they ended up having removed. But for me, Skip, look, and you know, Skip, you've been there. I mean, you've been the media, you front row, you press. You hear some of the things. You know that's not acceptable. And people think that's acceptable because if somebody, and I hate, man, if I was making that kind of money, you could say, well, no, you can't. Because at the end of the day, that man's a human being. That man's got a family.
Yep.
And above all things else, he's a human first. Yes, he's an entertainer, a very highly paid, skilled entertainer. But the man is a human, and the man have feelings. And y'all need to consider that because you wouldn't want anybody to talk to your mom or your dad like that. You'd be ready to fight. And don't say, oh, no, you talked to me. No, you couldn't.
Okay. Did the insults have anything to do with the Isaiah Stewart incident?
No.
No? No? Okay. So it's hard for me to react. If you actually do know what was said, then it's hard for me to react if I don't know what got said. The
fact of the matter is, Skip, that when I have conversations between people, Skip, I don't feel comfortable. Like I said, if LeBron James wants to say this is what they said, if that young lady and that gentleman comes out and say this is what we said to LeBron, I feel, but this in a private conversation, nah.
Okay. But you think it was completely justified for him to have
1 trillion%.
1 trillion%. And obscene gestures, for me, can cross the line. I don't know exactly what the gesture was. I can guess it was the most common gesture. And if you do that, you're gone, to me.
And the thing, Skip, you know how LeBron is. LeBron, I mean, Draymond said something, and LeBron, like I said, LeBron's like, I'm a dad. You know, I'm a husband. I'm a man before all else. Proud black man. Before all this, before the basketball and the endorsements and the this and the that, I'm this. And if you try to diminish that or try to say something, I can't. I'm not gonna let that slide. I'm not gonna let that slide.
I did think it was amusing that as she walked out, she did the pouty face, the extended lower lip, and did I was crying tears, right? Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, I wish I would just ask her, say, well, what did you say to LeBron?
I would like to ask her that. I was a little surprised because I kept scouring this morning. I thought maybe somebody from Indianapolis, one of the newspaper people or somebody from the media, might have tried to run after them and say, "What did you say?" Right.
Well, I just saying that there's somebody that was sitting right next to her, but I don't know. I don't want to put that out there. About what someone said, but like I said, LeBron, for him, when he became that emphatic, I was like, I didn't know what they said, but once he became that emphatic, and I made a few calls. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he trended all night. Unfortunately, he was being called La Snitch, right, on Twitter.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay. But, well, whatever you say. If you trust your information, sometimes you can't trust that information completely when it comes from where I think I know it came from.
Nah, not this here.
Yeah. Okay.
Skip, you know I ain't never lied. You know when I come to you, Skip Bayless, you know I come.
Yeah, but there are certain people you gotta be careful with. Okay. Next question.
No mercy. Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, and the Cowboys will look to dig in during their annual Thanksgiving game as they take on the Raiders. Now, Dallas has lost 2 of its past 3 games after winning 6 in a row before that and look to get a win to keep their lead in the NFC East. Shannon, how crucial is this game for the Cowboys?
It's not very crucial. They have a 2.5 game lead, Skip, in the worst division in football. As we sit here right now, the Cowboys are the 4th seed. Basically, if they win 2 games, it's going to be virtually impossible for them to drop below that. So that means they will get at least 1 game at home. Next 5 games, they got the Raiders today, and then next Thursday, they got the Saints. Both of these 2 teams have lost their last 3 games. Then they're at Washington, Giants at home, Washington at home.
No, they're at
they get at Washington, at Giants, and Washington at home. Right. So you got 2, you can really separate yourself, Skip, with these 3 division games. Basically, you can just like boom, 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 that coffin. That's the final nail in the coffin. You win these 3 games, Skip, you can lose these next 2. You win those 3 games against Washington and the Giants, and the nail is in the coffin. That's it. So I don't really think, for me, it's not very crucial, considering who they're playing today on a short week, considering the Raiders are in free fall, the Saints, I don't know what's going on with them. Alvin Kamara is going to be out again tonight, but they do play Buffalo, Skip, and Buffalo's kind of fallen on some hard times in 2 of the last 3 games. But for me, I don't think it's very crucial. I don't think this is a very crucial win because they built up so much good credit earlier in the year when these other teams were faltering. Now, I give you this. Philly is playing a lot better than what they were earlier. They're playing a lot better than when they played Dallas the first time, Skip. I think you and I both can agree that. We look at Washington, considering that when they beat Tampa and what they did, went on the road and beat Carolina, they're playing better. But the Cowboys, next 2 games, I think they win, and then we're not having this discussion again.
I just hope you're right.
I hope I'm wrong, but
today, and I think you're tiptoeing around this, it's crucial for my team. It is do or die if they're going to have the kind of season we're talking about. If they lose to the Raiders at home on Thanksgiving, which I do not rule completely out of the realm of possibility.
You get Ty Smith back.
Okay, guess who we don't have back? And we're going to debate this a little later. I just don't see how CeeDee Lamb's going to be back.
Man.
If he is, I like our chances. If he's not, I don't love our chances, because if you're down 2 of your best 3 receivers and they can double Michael Gallup all game, well, you saw what started happening at Kansas City. Dak just gets hesitant. He starts getting brain locked.
Well, Aaron Rodgers did it with top 3 receivers.
Are you saying that Dak's in the same sentence with Aaron Rodgers?
Is he getting paid like he's in the same sentence? As a matter of fact, he in front of him.
Who said he's overpaid? I did, okay? I like him, but I don't love him. I like him, but I don't love him. I've never loved him because he's never played up to that.
Now y'all know, man, you don't come out here since 2016 and talk about your guy Warrior and how he fights to the end and that you love Dak Prescott. He better than Cousins. He better than walking to him. He better than Jared Goff. He better than this one. And now you don't love him?
Okay, what happened in 2019 after those first 3 games you said were against garbage teams?
And I told you what was going to happen.
Jerry went to contractual war. Do you remember what happened down the stretch of the last 13 games? He was ranked the 18th best quarterback in football by Pro Football Focus, betting on himself against Jerry Jones.
And he won.
And then he comes out and continues to stink it up the first 3 games last year, and he still won. I don't know how he did it, but he did. I'm happy he's my quarterback. I like his football character. I like his backbone, but he is edge of top 10. Right now, I wouldn't have him in the top 10. I'd have him 12th or 13th in the league, which is good enough to go deep into the playoffs, but it's not top 10. So, again, I need to see more of the run game, because for a while we were the 2nd best rushing team in pro football. Now we dropped to 6th because they decided to put the season in Dak's hands.
Hold on. You talk about you want to see more of the run game, and every time Zeke run the football, you talk about he running in Cabo sand.
Okay, but here we come with the Raiders, who now rank 29th against the run. They're allowing 132 yards rushing per game. We need to get 150 today, and it's going to be a combination of a little thunder and a lot of lightning between Zeke and Tony Pollard.
Right.
And we need 150. That's the formula whereby we dominated and crushed Philly at home and the Giants at home and Carolina at home. That was the stretch where we were just run, Zeke, run, right? Eat, Zeke, eat.
So what do you? So if that happens, if you go 150,
yep.
What is that going to throw for? 150?
No, 200 plus, just a little over 220 maybe. But that's the formula for victory today.
Pay $40 million for that?
Well, I told you it was too much. Jerry told you it was too much at the press conference.
Well, why he pay it?
Because you said that's what the market demands, right? That's just
you know that.
Value.
You know that.
Well, fine. Well, I got it. But my point is, you have to win this game today. If you lose this game and you've lost 3 out of 4 going into December, it's just bad sign after bad sign after bad sign. You're going to lose your confidence. You're going to lose your way.
Are you sure they had confidence to begin with?
Yes, I do.
I thought it was faulty.
They won 6 straight games. And they won 1 without their quarterback at Minnesota, which looms as
I told you quarterback
a hallmark victory.
I told you quarterback controversy.
Yeah,
you remember I told you that? You laughed at me.
Yep. So, again, my score today is, if CeeDee can play, as you suggest that he might,
he played.
I got 31-17. If he does not play, I think it's going to be a struggle. I think it's going to be more in the realm of 24-17, which barely would not cover a 7.5-point spread. What do you have it at?
Probably 30-13.
30-13.
Yes, 27-13. Yeah, they win
Is
about.
That with or without CeeDee
They
Lamb?
win about 2 touchdowns regardless of who plays.
Really? Regardless of CeeDee Lamb?
Regardless.
Well, I'm not going to bet against my own team, but I will tell you, the Raiders got to 5-2, and they beat your Baltimore Ravens on a Monday night at Las Vegas, and they went and won at Pittsburgh, which I don't think is any small achievement, and they won at Denver, which, you know, Denver can be up and down at home. They can be a little difficult at home. The Raiders beat Philadelphia. Maybe they hadn't quite taken off yet. They beat the Dolphins, who can be dangerous on occasion. So they got to 5-2, and they were leading the AFC.
You guys can be dangerous on occasions.
Yep.
You hadn't been dangerous lately.
We got a flex today. Well, it sounds like you're talking out of both sides of your mouth, because it sounds like you're not impressed.
I'm not.
Like,
no.
I think you got an inkling that maybe the Raiders could pull this one off.
No, I don't have no inkling.
Yeah.
I've told you what they're going through. You know what they're going through. See, what you try to do. See, this is what. It took me a while to catch on to what you try to do. What you try to do is that you try to build the opponent up. So when your team wins, you see what we did? You see how good they were? They're not. They're not, and you know what they're going through. You know the Raiders are going through some things, some transitions. You know what they suffered through with the Henry Ruggs situation.
I do.
And then you're going to try to build them up. And they've lost 3 straight ball games. Really, Skip?
It's the National Football League, and they're all dangerous, and I still haven't quite gotten out of my craw the fact that my team at home fell behind your Denver Broncos 30-0 early in the fourth quarter. If that can happen, then this could happen. So you have to come out today and say, here we go. Heck with Amari. We don't, again, selfish act, didn't get vaccinated.
I thought you liked Amari.
Well, no, I don't love what he did. I told you. I didn't love the non-vaccination part.
I mean, he got your quarterback
and
paid.
he makes $21 million, and he's still getting paid without being vaccinated, so it cost 2 games. It cost at Kansas City. He couldn't have caught COVID at a worse time, right? At Kansas City, followed by short week Raiders on Thanksgiving.
Well, Skip, he wasn't out there actively looking for COVID.
Well, it happened because you were not protected.
Right.
You didn't take one for the team, which is take the shot.
Right.
Or shots, plural, for the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here we sit, and here we are stuck. And the quarterback struggles when he doesn't have his 2 best receivers. So
that shouldn't be the case.
Well.
Shouldn't be the case. I mean, if that guy's what you said he is.
Yep.
I mean, Colt McCoy going out there doing things without DeAndre Hopkins, without Edmonds.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing big things.
Yep.
So you mean to tell me Colt McCoy and Dak Prescott like this guy?
I don't know. I've always respected Colt McCoy, and he's done numbers on the Dallas Cowboys before.
I mean, that ain't saying much.
Monday Night
Skip,
Football.
that ain't saying much. You haven't won but 3 playoff games in 25 years.
You know what?
There are a lot of teams that's done numbers on the Cowboys.
Colt McCoy just might be the best backup quarterback in pro football.
Yeah.
Right? I think he has been for many years.
You think so?
Yep. So here we go. So you say what, 30-13?
Yeah, I say they win by 2 touchdowns. 27. I'm going by 2 touchdowns. They win by 14 points.
2 touchdowns, so they do cover, says Shannon.
Yeah, because what's the line? 7.5?
Yep, and that's with or without CeeDee Lamb, says the Hall of Famer Shannon
With
Sharpe.
or without?
Okay, all I care about is a W, because that's all I care about.
When they win by, don't come in here chirping tomorrow. I don't want to hear nothing about how about them Cowboys, because you trying to what you're trying to do is that you're trying to oversell the Raiders and undersell your team.
Yep.
And when they come in here, it's like, woo, we are back. I don't want to hear back.
You are attempting to jinx my team, and it will not work.
Hold up. How am I jinxing your team? If
You're
your team
trying to pick them, this is an easy game, this is a cakewalk, they'll cover, blah, blah, blah.
You just, hold on, Skip.
You are in danger of losing 10 cases of the Breakfast of Champions Diet Mountain Dew if my team wins the East and it has a 2.5-game lead. And if it can win this game, then I'm pretty solid that we're going to win the East.
Well, let me ask you a question. You just told me, what did Pro Football Focus have you rated as a team?
3rd.
Okay, you're the 3rd-rated team.
Yep.
I don't think the Raiders are rated 1st or 2nd.
No.
Okay,
Pro
then.
Football Focus says they're the 18th best team.
Okay, so what's the problem?
Yep.
What's the problem?
Well, the problem is we don't have 2 top receivers, our 2 best receivers. Our number 1 receiver is CeeDee Lamb.
Is your quarterback there? You told me this was a quarterback-driven league. Said any time the MVPs or the most valuable players or the most important players, it should be the first 20 should be quarterback. You said Dak Prescott is a top 20 quarterback, if not on the verge of being top 10. And so now all of a sudden you want to talk about Amari Cooper. You always tell me that receivers are dependent positions. They're dependent on the quarterback. Well, you got your quarterback. You got Tyron Smith. You got Zach Martin, which was rated 2 of the top 5 offensive linemen in football. So I want to hear you say it again. What seems to be the problem going on with your Cowboys?
The problem is my team under Dak Prescott is 29-0 when it runs it more than passes it. So today we run it more. Today we go to 30-0, and today you are dead.
So let me ask you a question. So is that a situation where Dak's calling the plays? So is this like the 70s, 80s? Because Roger Staubach called his own. So
he did not call his own.
Do they call their own plays?
Staubach quit because he couldn't call his own plays.
I can see that because Coach Reed wouldn't let people. I mean, he did let John call some of his own plays, but it was too late then.
Okay.
By that time, Skip, it's over.
Nope.
You done had that many years of not being able to call plays or not having the input that you thought you deserved.
So I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving watching my team rise.
No mercy. Well, LeBron wasted no time in his return following a brief 1-game suspension. The Kings' shooting was on fire as he scored 8 of his 39 points in overtime to help the Lakers steal a 124-116 win. Shannon, give LeBron a letter grade.
You know what it is, Skip. You know what he get.
Go ahead and put the mask back on.
No. But you saw, he the king. You saw that, Skip?
Goat king.
Yeah. No.
He is the king of the goats. I give you that.
Skip, he gets an A. He was spectacular last night. 39 points, 5 threes, 5 made threes, 8 or 9 from the free throw line. And then from the 2:05 to fourth quarter and overtime, he was sensational. 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 5 of 9 from the floor, 3 of 6 from the three-point line. He was just in complete control of the ball game. And Malik, you heard Malik Monk. Malik Monk's, hey, he the GOAT. That's
he said he's the GOAT of my generation.
He said,
my generation.
Like other guys, a lot of people consider Michael Jordan. Kobe considers Mike. There was a generation that's considered Kobe. And now you see Malik Monk say it's just an honor to play with him. How he could control the game. And that's what he does.
What's Malik Monk going to say after the game?
There you go.
Jordan was obviously the GOAT, but LeBron was really good tonight. You think he's going to say that?
He had an opportunity to say that. He didn't say that when he played for him. So I know he ain't going to say it now. But anyway, back to my thoughts. Stop trying to interrupt me, Skip, baby. 39 points, but, you know, hey, can't win. He didn't drive the ball enough. He didn't do this enough. All he does, Skip, is give you this. He gives you glimpse to let you know while others are trying to write him off. I'm still here. I'm still standing. So why you just can't just, like, enjoy this moment, realizing just what you witnessed, what you watched?
Because you're fabricating, you're embellishing. You're overreacting.
Let me ask you a question. Did he not score 39? Was he? Now, you told me. Now, I've seen LeBron score a lot of points in the first half and a lot of points through the three quarters, and then he don't score 75 points in the fourth quarter. You like, well, he didn't do anything. But he gave it to you, just like you've asked him to do on so many occasions in the fourth quarter. He did that. And now, you want to talk about 6 seconds in a ball game in which he played 43 minutes after coming off a major injury and being suspended and only playing half the game on Sunday. And you want to find fault with that. How?
How? My turn?
Yes.
Thank you. Here we go. I will give LeBron a B for his performance last night because I first look at the box score and I say, plus minus over here. Oh, wait, he was a -3? So he played 43 minutes and 28 seconds of the game. But in all that time that he was on the floor, his team lost by 3 points.
Did he?
How can you give him an A for that?
Easy, because they didn't.
-3?
So let me ask you a question. When you go a little further over and you drop down the final, can you read the final? What was the final?
Well, it's my turn now.
Okay, my bad. You're right. Your turn.
So -3, but then I look at who was plus 20, who led the Lakers at plus 20. Wait, it was Wayne Ellington. And then who was second on the team in plus minus? Oh, wait, it was Malik Monk with plus 15. LeBron -3. Wayne was plus 20. Malik was plus 15. And you're giving him an A for that performance? And wait a second, what was the guts of the fourth quarter? How did they get back in the game? It was 5 straight threes, 3 from Ellington and 3 from Malik Monk. Could we just see those just in a row, please? Because it's boom, boom, boom. And I'm not
Look at these wide open shots. Look at what they're getting. That's a LeBron assist right there.
All right.
Here come another one. Oh, do it to him. Do it to him. See the big. Oh, Wayne, you ready?
Exactly
you ready, Wayne?
Pass.
Bang!
Another one. And then here we go again.
We call this a hockey assist. Jamelo to Wayne in the corner.
Okay. Boom. And then all of a sudden, just when I thought that was enough, he does it again. And all of a sudden I'm saying, wait a second, this is about to be a Laker lead. That was the first time all night. That put them up 101-100. And I'm saying, where did those guys come from? Because when I needed them the night at Madison Square Garden, they weren't there for me.
Let me ask you a question. All that being said, if LeBron James is not there last night, do they win or lose this game in Indiana? It's a simple question, Skip.
Well, obviously they didn't have AD, so what's my all-time favorite theory about the NBA that I learned a long time ago back in the 70s? The wounded tiger theory. Beware of the team with a star player down because those are the ones that are most dangerous in a little 2-hour basketball game.
We got the aura. We got the biggest star. What do you mean the star is down?
So how can I give LeBron James an A when in the fourth quarter he was 2 of 8? That means he made 2 shots and he missed 6 shots in the fourth quarter. Is that a virtuoso performance?
How many points did he have in the fourth quarter?
Well, again, he missed 6 shots, so he should have had a whole lot more than he had, right? And again...
Was he plus or minus in the fourth quarter?
Was he... Well, again, he was... They were strong, man. They just took over the fourth quarter, right?
They did that?
Yep, they did that. But the point was he not guilty of a little premature celebration?
No.
Because when he did hit the late 3 in the fourth quarter, then he goes down to the other end. If we could see this.
What did he do, Skip?
He went Sam Cassell, Eddie House. Eddie House also made this famous.
Heavy.
Yep. So he says, oh, you go over there because
Miles Turner. That's Miles Turner. Leads the NBA in block shots.
7-footer. I got the 7-footer on it because I'm going to jack this one up. And I'm going to go down and I'm going to go there. That big, right? Yeah. That big. Okay, way to go, LeBron. Except, guess what? After he made it and went that big, that put them up 6. And you thought, was the game over? No, it wasn't over because here he came back again, and he needed a dagger shot. He needed a jumper to make it with 48 seconds left. He's got the dagger right here in his hands. And what happened? Could we see that shot? This is for the game. This is ice. This is, you are done. That would have shut those people up in the front row, and it was way wide right because it almost missed the rim.
That's
wide
okay.
right.
That's
right?
okay. That's okay.
Okay. So all of a sudden, the door swings open.
Left it open.
Yeah, left it open, and the kid, Chris Duarte, has the ball over in the corner, if we could see this, guarded by Avery Bradley, and I don't know, this is miraculous. I don't know even how he got this shot up. I thought it had no prayer, but it had nothing but net prayer, and he got fouled.
He did not get fouled.
Well, come on.
He did not get fouled.
Avery Bradley knock him out of bounds?
No, Skip, that man flopping.
That's a tackle. That would qualify him to play for my Cowboys.
I mean, he flopping more than the purchase I was catching when I was a kid.
Is this not an and one?
No, and not and one.
In the third quarter, or the second quarter, or the first quarter, that's an easy and one. That's a 4-point play.
Let me tell you, you know why LeBron didn't close the door? Because they wasn't close enough. So LeBron, when he said, we're going to take it to overtime, and you know how you wait. I don't know if you did this, Skip, but as a kid, I used to slam, my brothers come running, I slammed the door in his face. Okay. That's what LeBron did last night in overtime. Okay. He let Sabonis, he said, come on out here, Skip. And to my good friend Mark Jackson, shall I have this dance? They were playing a nice slow, the lights dimmed down, candlelight. He danced with Sabonis.
Okay, and I'm not going to let you get away with what happened at the end of regulation because it's my all-time pet peeve. I have called LeBron on this hundreds of times on national TV since his rookie year, since my days on Cold Pizza. You cannot do this if you are the quote-unquote GOAT.
Why not?
If you're the king, you have to shoot these free throws. He takes the ball up the court. He's got plenty of time. Just drive it. Drive it because it's a tie game. You are the greatest driver of the basketball ever. Take it to the rack. Let Miles Turner foul you, let Brogdon foul you. Somebody's going to hack you because they have to.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is walk to the free throw line with your brand new free throw routine that's working at a high rate. He's 79% from the free throw line. Just go have the guts, have the courage, have the willpower to go stand there by yourself with no time left and make one of 2 free throws and the game is over. That's all you got to do.
Guess what, Skip? This was even more impressive because in overtime, who did what? Who did what in overtime, Skip? Okay, now, I want you to know they scored 12 points.
Timeout. He pulls up from 32 feet.
Yeah.
He shoots a 3-point shot 8 feet beyond the 3-point line.
Yeah, he did that.
Because he knows that the blind witnesses will give him a break and a pass if he misses the shot because they'll say, that was a deep 3. That was Steph range. That's a hard shot. Yeah, it's a really hard shot. And it LeBricked. It did not even come close. I'm sorry, and you're giving him an A? Yeah. You think on a scale of 1 to 10 that he deserves a 10 for that game?
Jim, can you pull a couple of those shots from overtime?
Yeah.
Just a couple of them, because they only scored 12 points. And I know a guy that had 8 of those 12.
Yep.
Oh, look at this.
On Sabonis, who has 5 fouls. Drive it and get him out of the game.
No, that's easy. That's easy.
Yep.
That's easy. I don't want to beat you at my strength. Yep. I'm going to beat you at your strength.
He's a 35.5% three-point shooter.
Do it to me one more time.
Jacking him up.
Once is never enough.
Sabonis, you could foul him out right here. You could get him out of the game.
Look at this, Skip.
You got to guard him on the other end. You're playing center.
That's 31 feet.
Yep. That was about 40 feet.
Layup.
Yep.
I heard him hollering layup, Skip. You said you wanted a layup. That was a layup.
35.5% three-point shooter. You know where that ranks in the NBA? That is below average.
I know where he ranked in the all-time greatness. Number 1. Number 1, Skip, that many. That means no one's in front of him.
LeBron James is a career 34.5% three-point shooter.
I couldn't tell.
That screams drive the basketball.
I couldn't tell. Oh, that's what he is, Skip? Yep. I couldn't tell last night.
How many times do we see that happen? Not very often. And what happens after he falls back in love with the 3? He goes 1 for 10 against Sacramento on Friday night.
Ask Sabonis what do you think LeBron James' record is, 3-point percentage is, after what he did last night.
He could have fouled fouled him out. What's the right basketball play? Foul out their center.
No, I don't want to.
We don't have a center tonight. I'm going to foul out their center.
No, I don't want to do that, Skip. I want to be the best with the best. I want you on the court. That's right. I want to be there. I want you on the court. Skip, but you still hadn't told me. I know two people could have done what LeBron James did last night in the fourth quarter in overtime. Play the 5 and play the point guard. Now, which one? Now, I want you to name the players that could do that.
Well, he had to do it because they didn't have anybody else. You're going to play Dwight Howard? You're going to play DeAndre Jordan in overtime? No, you're not.
The mere fact
you have no choice but to go small.
That's versatile.
Okay.
The mere fact that you can be a chameleon and play 1 through 5 on the offensive and the defensive end, Skip.
Yep. So the man that you gave an A to was a -3 for the game. He was 2 of 8 in the fourth quarter. He missed the dagger jump shot, and then he cowardly ran from the free throw line at the end of regulation, forcing an overtime with a LeBricked 3 from 32 feet, and you're giving him an A for that?
Skip, I mean, look, if I look at that, I mean, there are times, I guarantee you, I can go look at where Tom Brady missed a throw here, and he got sacked there, and he should have thrown the ball.
James that you gave an A to.
Yeah,
that's
and I gave
him
to Okay, what part about that I gave him an A that you get?
Struck by lightning if you bring Tom Brady into a LeBron conversation.
Did you see those interceptions that he threw the other night? Did you see that?
Did you see the 29 touchdown passes he's thrown, which leads all of football?
And what about the turnovers? How many turnovers? Well, he right there with Mahomes with turnovers.
Really?
He right there with Mahomes with turnovers.
Somebody's changing the subject because somebody lost another debate about LeBrick.
Skip, you know what? As a matter of fact, when I was moving forward, every time I went to debate.
Really?
I'm going to silence this thing.
I'm not 8-11 Indiana, now 8-12.
Wow. If you don't mind me.
I'm impressed. You did that to 8-12 Indiana?
Whoa.
Way to go.
Whoa, hold on. Now, every time we lose a game, all you do is chirp about that team is this and that. Are they, like you tell me, are they an NBA team? Because when I told you Chicago wasn't any good.
I'll give you this. At least you didn't lose to them like you did LeBron's first year in L.A. Remember that night? 136-94 and all the chants of LeBron's trying to trade you.
Okay. Yeah. And guess what? We did that. And guess what we got? LeBron won a championship.
In the bubble.
It still counts. You see what you did? Now it's the 5th seed. Hold on. What, the 5th seed?
Without their 2 best players.
No, they had the best players. Don't do that, Skip. Skip, don't do that. Why you do that? You saw the man. Instead of just saying, you know what, Shannon? That was a good performance by the GOAT last night. That was a good performance.
You know what, Shannon? That was a pretty good performance by the GOAT. I give him a B, and that's what he deserves.
No mercy. According to Fox Bet Sportsbook, Zeke Elliott's over-under for rushing yards is set at 60.5. Now, Zeke only got 32 yards on the ground last week, but he's still averaging nearly 70 yards per game on the season. So, Shannon, does he go over 60.5? And if so, by how much?
Skip, I'm going to say he's going over. I think the thing is, Skip, that we just have to come to the realization that Zeke is not a bell cow back anymore. He's not a guy that's going to get all the lion's share of the carries. They're going to probably be split. If he gets 15 carries, somebody else is going to get somewhere between 10 and 11. If he gets 18 carries, somebody's going to get 13 to 15. That's what he is. The days of him, Skip, you remember his first 3 years, he get 25, 26, 27 carries. I don't believe that's where he is at this juncture of his career. So I'm going to say that considering that they're playing the Raiders, who have a very porous, they're the bottom 4 as far as rush defense, and the Cowboys get Ty Smith back, who's as good a run blocker as they is. They have Zach Martin. They have a very solid offensive line. Now, when they had Frederick in their center, they were dominant. There's no other way of putting that around this, Skip. They were sensational. But I still believe they have more than enough with Lyle Collins at right tackle, Zach Martin and Ty Smith. They have more than enough to dominate the line of scrimmage and have open holes for Zeke. So I'm going to say he'll get 15. I'll say he'll get somewhere between 70 and 75 yards on 15 carries, which would be about 5 yards a carry. That's something that you can live with. I think Pollard comes in, gives them another, 50, 55 yards, and they'll be, they're going over that. They're going over that today. I'm going to say you say you want 150. I'm going to say they'll get 175.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, then I'm golden. Yeah. I'm good. I'm coming in here slamming the desk tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with the news from our man Jay Glazer. CeeDee Lamb is now out. As I said all week, there's no way he's going to get through the whole protocol in 3.5 days.
Right.
It's just too short.
Right.
And I just didn't think an NFL-sanctioned doctor would clear him.
Right.
Jerry would clear him. Steven would clear him. Mike would clear him.
They might have cleared him to go back in the game on Sunday, Skip.
That's true. Okay, so all of a sudden, there's no Amari Cooper and there's no CeeDee Lamb, who I believe is the #1 receiver, and that Amari has fallen to 1A. But neither is going to be at Dak's disposal today, which means I need a Salvation Army kettle game from Ezekiel Elliott.
You need to jump into the kettle. Yeah.
I need him to jump in the kettle or at least donate to the kettle. He tried that once upon a time, too. And I'm pretty sure they rolled the kettle out on Thanksgiving for the holidays.
And it stays all the way through, I think all the way through the New Year, because it's there on Christmas also. Yeah.
If we see Zeke jump in the kettle today, I'm good to go, because I think that will launch us for the rest of the year. But I need Zeke to be bounce back Zeke. Now, remember, I told you he's going to be bounce back coming into the year, and for a while he was, because he hit that 3-game stretch, games 3, 4, and 5. Look at what he did against Philly at home. He goes for 95 yards. And then Carolina at home, he goes for 143. Oh, welcome back, Zeke. And then against the Giants at home, 110. So for those 3 games, he's averaging like 120-ish yards. Okay, well, that's rookie year Zeke, right? And I remind you what's happened to his yards per game over his career. You know and I know what's happened. It goes 109 his rookie year, led the league. 98 the next year, led the league. 97 the next year, led the league. And then here we go, down to 85, and then last year down to 65, a career low. So his yards per game, rushing yards per game. He'll catch a few also. But just pure rushing yards per game have fallen every year of his career, right?
But a lot of that has to do with, Skip, as his rush attempts have fallen, Zach pass attempts have increased. But also, Skip, he said he's been dealing with a knee issue.
He has.
So that might
and also an ankle issue.
because he got looked like he got stepped on and then he fell on the knee.
He did. Okay, so then what, after that 3-game stretch, that mighty 3-game stretch, then what started happening? At New England, 69, not terrible. But then at Minnesota, 50. And then Denver at home, 51. And then here comes Atlanta at home. And that was just throwing the football. So it was 41 for Zeke. And then all the way down to at Kansas City, when they just featured Dak all day to a fault. 9 carries for 32 yards. So all of a sudden, his yards per game this year have fallen all the way to 69.5. Well, now we're starting to threaten the career. We're heading down toward another career low year.
But I think, Skip, over the last 5 games, you look at it, he's averaging 13 carries, 49 yards. Tony Pollard's averaging 8 carries, 34 yards. Skip, that's only 21 carries. So if you sprinkle Dak in there, who's getting probably 2 rush attempts, that's only 23 rush attempts a game. That's not nearly enough. That number needs to be around 30. So how can we get 30 rush attempts between Zeke, Pollard, and Dak? Okay, give Zeke, say, 15. Give Tony Pollard 13, 14. And now, Dak, you get a couple of scrambles in there, and now you're getting close to your 30 rush attempts, and you can get, say, 4.5, 5 yards a carry, which will give you the 150 that you say you believe you need today.
And I need it because the Raiders ranked 29th in rush defense, allowing 132 a game. 132 yards a game. You should be able to at least hit that average, right?
With Ty Smith back,
Okay, you should. So, to me, I'm going to go way over the 60.5 over-under. I think that's the sucker bet of the day, because I think you're going to have flashback Zeke today. I think that he will get 20 to 25 carries, because I think they have to.
So you're going over my rush number.
I'm going over yours. I'm going Zeke 105 today.
Wow.
And it might be crazy, but I saw it for those 3 games earlier this year that he was right in that category.
But you got to be, but Skip, the thing is about running the football, you got to be committed to running the football.
You do.
But the question...
And when he has a -1, you have to say, heck with it. You know, let's do it again. Let's try another one.
But let me ask you this. Are you committed to running the ball just for today, or are you committed to running the ball moving forward? Because, like you mentioned the 3-game stretch where you saw them give him the touches and they were blowing people out.
They were.
Are you convinced that this is going to be a sign of things to come? That if you guys run the ball, say, 30, 35 times a day, you go 150, 175. Is this a blueprint moving forward?
Yes.
Or are you going to revert back to all of a sudden let Dak throw the ball 40 times?
Okay, the reason at New Orleans a week from Thursday night, a week from tonight, scares me is they're really good on defense. I don't care what you say about Trevor Siemian and obviously obviously you don't have the two, but you don't have the two running backs.
Oh, yeah, not now.
I don't know if they're going to be back or not.
Right,
but the point is, the defense is whole and healthy. And I think Buffalo's going to have a hard time tonight against that defense because Josh Allen's lost his way.
Josh Allen's turned the ball over 9 times in the last 3 games.
Okay,
that's the quickest recipe to lose.
They will turn you over in that Superdome in a night game, especially a big Thanksgiving night game. Just watch the energy in that place.
Okay, how many rush attempts are the Cowboys going to have today?
Okay, you need 30 to 35 at least.
Okay, I'll go with that.
But I got Zeke. I need him to go 25 times for 105. That's the recipe for success. And I need him to score a couple of touchdowns, one of which ignites him to go leap into the kettle, right? If you see him in the kettle, I'm good to go.
How many rush yards? 30, 35 attempts for 150?
I got 25. Oh, you mean overall?
For overall, yeah.
Yeah, I need 150. Yes.
150.
35 for 150.
And you need Dak to have about 220?
Yeah.
So that's 372. That's all? You think that's going to be good enough? Y'all need to be over 400.
Maybe Dak needs to be 250.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, so 400.
Okay. There we go.
Okay.
That would work. Again, it's the Raiders. They have fallen on hard times. They have had emotional disasters involving their coach and their wide receiver, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we get that. So you got to take care of business. But Dak does not have his 2 favorite targets. And I remind you, the guy I used to call Shannon Jarwin, Blake Jarwin.
Yeah.
He's on IR. So they were running those 2 wide receivers, 2 tight end sets.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I forget if they call them 11. I think they're
12.
12. They're 12, yeah. Okay, so 12 personnel, and it was a run-heavy formation because they actually had 2 blockers on the edge of the line of scrimmage, right?
It takes 2 of them because neither one of them blocking.
They don't. But when you have 2 in the game, it really threatens you because both of them can really catch it, right?
Yes, they can.
Okay, so Blake Jarwin is gone, so all of a sudden it's Dalton Schultz, and all of a sudden you don't have your top 2 receivers. You're going to have a hard time scoring points. And without those 2 receivers for much of the game at Kansas City, they scored 3 field goals in 12 possessions.
Well, Skip, this might be as good as I understand that you want your receivers.
Yeah.
But with Ty Smith coming back, Ty Smith is more important than any one of those receivers because he not only can he open up holes, Dak had a good night's sleep last night, knowing those 77 is back in that spot.
Because you won't see 55 on his blind side,
exactly.
Right? Unblocked.
Yeah,
right?
So I got the front side protected with Zach Martin. I got the back side with those 77.
Yeah.
And I can see Z getting 20 carries, Tony Pollard getting 15. They're going for about $150, $175.
Really?
Yeah.
So you got way over. So you agree with me? That could be the sucker bet of the day.
Yeah. I'm definitely
over on Zeke's 60 point.
Yeah.
What was it? 60.5.
60.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
60.5.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I got 25 carries for 105 kettle game.
He gonna probably break one for about 20.
Yeah. How many times do you think you're going to see this today?
Well, you better hope you see it a lot today. I'm only going to see it once today because I'm going out to eat. But
you're going to do it yourself.
Yeah. You better hope you see it about 10 times today. That's what you better hope.
No mercy. Now, Aaron Rodgers has been playing through a toe injury since returning from the COVID list and even joked about it on the Pat McAfee show earlier this week. However, when the media started to run with the idea that he was suffering from, quote, COVID toe, the reigning MVP felt the need to clear up the situation during his availability yesterday. Take a listen.
Just so I could show you the lesions on my foot here, Rob. So if I have enough room on this camera, let me see if I can... Oh, there's no lesions whatsoever. It's actually called disinformation when you perpetuate false information about an individual. I have a fractured toe.
Shannon, what is your reaction to this?
Typical Aaron. He's arrogant, condescending. You put it out there, dum-dum. Skip, here's the thing. When you make light of a serious situation, which is COVID is a very serious situation, guess what I would have thought? If somebody would have told me someone is taking horse parasite medication for a non-parasitic virus, I would say, you crazy. That's misinformation.
Yep.
Lo and behold, Aaron Rodgers did that. Now he has a problem with someone putting out disinformation. Typical Aaron. And then to take it a step further, now he wants to be truthful. Put his foot up on the table. Let's see if you get a look at that, Rob. You couldn't be misleading. Matt LaFleur is like, I'll be damned. This man is telling the whole NFL that we got to play some other team that I got a fractured toe.
Yep.
If I'm a defensive player, guess what I'm trying to do to that toe? You don't think I'm trying to step on his Skip?
Yep.
Because I am. I just don't get this dude. I don't. He just cannot help himself. What happened is, Skip, is that he backed himself into a corner. With everything that he said over the last 2 weeks, now he's trying to dig himself out of it. Aaron, COVID is serious. You cannot make light of a serious situation because people are going to take it because they thought you were out your mind when you was talking about all this other stuff.
Correct.
So now they don't know what to differentiate. What is actually, is he joking or he's actually for real?
Yep.
Because when you told people you was taking parasitic medicine that they give the livestock, people say, I know good and well, an NFL quarterback, as smart as he is, with all the information he can get from his team, I know good and well he wouldn't do this. Lo and behold, he did. So, Skip, they take everything that you say now when it comes to this, they're like, okay, well, this is how Aaron feels about it. And he called out the wrong reporter. So I guess he had disinformation.
Okay. So he brought a lot of this on himself because I told you Monday that there was some internet speculation that maybe he was suffering from what's called COVID toes. I told you on the show Monday because, number one, he called it a COVID injury.
Right.
And then number two, after the game on Sunday.
Who called it that? He did?
He did.
Oh.
It was a COVID injury. And after the game on Sunday, he said, I got stepped on and it activated the symptoms. Well, that led me to be a little suspicious, like, well, maybe he does have COVID toes. And again, COVID toes, you get discoloration.
Right.
You get a little swelling. You can have some blistering. And you can have some very aggravating, tormenting sort of ongoing pain. But remember, it's been a couple of weeks now since Aaron had COVID, right? He's cleared of COVID, right? So the point is, if he did have any discoloration and swelling or blistering, it well might have gone away, right? So I'm not going to buy into that he shows me his bare foot because, well, what did it look like 3 weeks ago? I have no idea.
Yeah.
And again, he says he heard it at home during his his pandemic quarantine, right? Okay, so did you drop a hand weight on it, or I don't know? Did you accidentally trip and fall down the stairs?
Or did he stub it? You know, run in the middle of the night, stub his toes?
He's saying now it's the littlest toe. Right. Is fractured.
Yeah.
Okay,
so why would you divulge that information?
I don't know. And after everything that he lied about before, why would I trust any of this?
Nothing.
Right? Any of it.
I assume everything from moving forward, coming out of Aaron Rodgers' mouth is a lie. That's where he is with me. Now, everybody else can take what he says at face value and says, okay, I believe this or I believe that, but not with me. To me, Aaron Rodgers is a liar. Because he lied for 6 months, he had an opportunity, and it wasn't until he got called to the carpet on it that he wanted to talk about, well, there is something called HIPAA, and I have a right to privacy, and yada, yada, yada. Okay, you got a right to privacy. Ain't nobody asked you about no fractured toe. You volunteered every piece of information that he gave, he volunteered. And so now he's mad at someone that took what he said seriously. When you talk about COVID, which is a serious issue, now well, Aaron don't mean that. That's not what he meant, so I can't go with it. So now they take that serious. He's upset that someone took him serious. Yeah. Well, you want us to take you serious about you taking a livestock drug? Yeah, he's immunized. So now he's trying to discredit a long-respected organization, a long-respected publication, the Wall Street Journal, which for me, coming from the journalism field, is right up there with the New York Times. Yes. And you're trying to take pot shots to discredit them for spreading what he called disinformation? Yes. Really? Yeah. After you lied about being, quote-unquote, immunized? Exactly. And you take it, because like I said, Skip, if somebody would tell you that you could take this horse drug, even though it's been proven that it doesn't help your symptoms, like, man, you crazy. Why would I do that? But that's what he did. And so people automatically assume, well, if you said it and you do this, how do I differentiate? You talk about misinformation. You're taking things that has been proven that doesn't help COVID symptoms. Why should we believe anything that comes out of his mouth about anything COVID related? I do not. None. Zero.
Sorry. Thank you. Next question.
No mercy.
We mentioned it earlier, but breaking news from our very own Jay Glazer, CeeDee Lamb will not play versus the Raiders. The second-year wideout has been in concussion protocol since hitting his head at the end of the first half versus Kansas City and did not get cleared to play in today's Thanksgiving game. Shannon, how much will this hurt the Cowboys' chances?
Well, obviously, you want all your best players, especially if you're going to be without Amari. You'd like to have CeeDee. You don't really like to be without either. But I think the addition of getting Ty Smith back, Skip, which will give him extra protection. I just think the thing is this week, Skip, they can't have the drops. They had a couple of drops last week. Huge drops. That really hurt them. Hit Noah Brown right in the hand on that first third down.
Cedric Wilson late.
Yeah, Cedric Wilson dropped one late. So guys are going to have to make, you're going to have to help your quarterback out in the passing game today. But I think the addition of having Ty Smith back, they should lean heavily on the running game and make throws a lot easier, because if they can run the football with Zeke and Pollard, now the play action is going to open up and guys will be wide open. So although, you love to have your starting guys at the wide receiver position, but I think with the addition of Ty Smith being back, Skip, you're going to see a difference in this offensive line. They're about to be real physical with the Raiders.
Okay, so you were leaning towards CeeDee somehow playing today.
I thought he was going. I definitely thought he was going to play.
Okay, so no CeeDee. Does that change your final score?
Okay, they went by 10.
By 10.
Yeah, they went by 10.
They still cover.
They cover him.
Okay,
They're covering.
Give me a ballpark range.
I'm going to say they'll win now. I'll say 27. I'll say 20. I'll go 24-13.
24-13.
Yeah.
So you're crediting my defense with holding Derek Carr, who's averaging 308 yards passing a game, which is second in the league, to only 13 points.
Yeah, they don't really protect the passer that well.
Okay, so here I'm almost with you on this. But here's the great irony to what just happened. Even though Pro Football Focus still ranks the Dallas offense #1 in the league. Now, that's obviously, they're doing it with Amari and CeeDee.
And Ty Smith. They got all these big guns.
They're saying at full strength they're the #1 offense. Even though Dallas, as we speak, leads the whole NFL in yards, total yards gained. Not bad, right?
Right.
I have come to trust my defense more than I trust my offense, because my defense keeps rising and shining quietly in the shadows where you don't expect them. You've thought they've been a little overrated or at least exposed.
Well, you got your big names on the offense side. You look at your quarterback, look at your receivers.
Although Micah Parsons is becoming as big a name as there is on the team. And Trevon Diggs for a while was certainly leading the race for Defensive Player of the Year. So I now have 2 Defensive Player of the Year candidates on defense, one top 10 in sacks, one leading in interceptions. And against the Raiders, I'm trusting my defense more than my offense, because guess who's on the hottest seat today? The $75 million man. Because you are correct when you say, why can't he do what Aaron did at Arizona? Well, I agree with that, because this is the game where you say, okay, Dak, you're on. You got to show me $75 million, because you got to go in there and be poised enough, be clever enough, be quick mentally enough, and be accurate enough to make stars out of Cedric Wilson and Michael Gallup and Noah Brown and Malik Turner. And you got to be able to flip it to Zeke coming out of the backfield, and you got to flip it to Pollard coming out of the backfield, and you got to make Dalton Schultz the star that he's almost been several times.
He should have a big game today.
He should have a big game. And obviously, I said, I'm already on record, you got to have a Salvation Army kettle game from Zeke. And I'm talking about 25 carries for 105, 25 for 105. But it's still, in the end, to your point, my point, it's a quarterback's game. And in the end, to win what I think is a do-or-die game as far as the rest of the schedule goes, it's going to come down to, like we just said, Dak's got to throw for 250. And he's going to have to make some third-down throws that keep them ahead of the chains to make them, like, I'm going to go 24-17. Hold Derek Carr to 17, score 24. That doesn't quite cover, but CeeDee is a huge loss because he is their biggest, best playmaker.
But I think the thing is, Skip, the question is, if I look at it like this, if Dak doesn't turn the football over today, that's the only chance the Raiders have. They got to steal some possessions. If Dak takes care of the football, if they don't put the football on the turf, they'll be fine. Now, I'm sure Bones is going to try something tricky on special teams, Skip. He ain't a head coach, but he got to show he got something up his sleeve.
Especially on Thanksgiving.
He got something up his sleeve. Mike McCarthy, they're probably going to go for it a couple of times on fourth down.
Yep.
You just can't, in a situation like this, just don't turn it over. Don't give them hope. This is the type of team, Skip, if you jump out on them early, get them down 14-0, they're going to be thinking about eating turkey.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be thinking about using monkey butt powder because I'm going to have a chapped you-know-what if they lose this game, because then they have to go to New Orleans. I don't know who's going to come back at running back for them. Will Kamara be back? Will Mark Ingram be back? But it's dicey and dangerous to go there because they hate the Cowboys in New Orleans, and it will be a Thursday night crazed crowd. And then remember, they still have to go to Washington. They have to go to the Giants. They have to end at Philadelphia, and they still have to face Washington, who has found itself with a little Tyler Taylor Heineke at quarterback. They have to face them at home, and they still have to deal with Arizona at home.
I think I'm gonna up the score. I'm gonna go 27-13.
27-13,
Yep.
2 touchdowns, says Shannon Sharpe.
Yep.
So you should book it. If you're a betting man or a betting woman, you should bet on the Cowboys to cover.
You should bet on the Cowboys to cover big. Skip, I just think the thing is, I'm expecting Dak to be out of the game in the fourth quarter.
Really?
Yeah, I'm expecting that.
Well, then go to 34-13.
Yeah, they're gonna beat them by 2 touchdowns. It's not like I'm gonna get any more money. I got the Cowboys minus the 7, and I still gonna cover it. So if they cover by 14, I ain't winning no more money.
It's the ultimate jinx attempt by Shannon.
Skip, it ain't no jinx. Skip, know.
There is no CeeDee and no Amari Cooper. The 2 best. It's 1 and 1A.
Okay.
They're 2 best playmakers.
But your offense, even without those guys, are still better than the Raiders' defense. Would you agree with that?
I don't know.
No mercy.